a week after that, I gave Dixie my notice. I said, Dixie, I'm done. Mac, I didn't have another job lined up. Nothing. I was done. Do you know what Eric's story is about that meeting to this day?
No, what?
That he exposed me in front of Dixie as a liar. You ready for this, Mac? And I started crying.
What was your last interaction with Hogan? Do you remember?
Oh, man, Mac, I'll be honest, because I've done nothing but put this man over. Okay. But there was an incident that really pissed me off. Mac, here's the difference between Eric and myself. And I tell people this all the time. People tell me all the time, oh, man, why? I got no problem with Eric. Eric is a great guy. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bro, because you never worked with Eric. Okay, like Kimberly Page, you can look this up, Mac. Kimberly Page did an interview, and Kimberly Page said, like, Bischoff was DDP and Kimberly's next door neighbor. And Kimberly did an interview where she basically said, bro, when we're at home and him and his wife come out over and we go out in couples, he's the greatest guy you want to know. When I'm at work with him, I don't know who he is. I mean, Kimberly said that. So that's what I tell people all the time. Yeah, bro, you never work with him. Trust me, when you work with him, so Mac, here's what used to happen. This kind of set things off. And this was the beginning of the end for me. Oh God, man, there were a couple of stories. I'll tell you them real quick, Mac.
Okay.
Mac, we had a production meeting at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's over at 12 o'clock. When the production meeting is over at 12 o'clock, bro, we're working all day long. All day long. When the production meeting was over at 12 o'clock, Eric and Hulk would disappear. And they would show up about an hour before showtime.
Wow.
So, Mac, here's what happened. There was a big match between Sting and Kurt Angle. They had been going back and forth on the phone all week long because they really wanted this to be a great match. They tried to contact Hulk a couple of times. He never got back to them. So now it's the day of. I mean, they've got a match and they're going over the match all day long. And they pitched the match to me, and the match sounds absolutely great, everything. Bro, they're waiting on Hogan to pitch the match to Hogan. So, bro, Hogan and Bischoff come strolling in an hour before the show, and we go in the green room. That's where the big shots hung out, Flair and Hogan and all those guys. And I'm there, and Sting and Kurt lay out the entire match. And bro, they worked on it all week long. Okay. They lay out this entire match. So Hulk's listening. And then after they lay out the entire match, Hulk looks at them and says, what about this? So now for the first time, this is Kurt and Sting. Now, this ain't two jabrones.
No.
Now he's laying out some crazy thing. And Mac, they're looking at me. Sting and Kurt are like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? Like, we tried to call you all week long. You're going to come in an hour before our match. Mac, I was so hot. I walked out. And because if I would have stayed in that room, I would have blew my cool. Now, I want to explain something to you. Mac, you don't mind hearing this, do you?
No, I don't. Not at all.
I want you to understand what was listen, Eric and I tried to get along. We were never going to get along. We have two completely different work styles. Eric's all about power. I'm all about getting my freaking hands dirty. Eric is all about having people fear him and bullying people. I don't work that way. So Mac, this was the defining point for me where Eric Bischoff was dead to me. Before Bret Hart ever went back to the WWE, okay, he was really good friend. I don't know how they became good friends. He was really good friends with Jeremy Borash, Bret, right?
Yeah.
So we come up with the idea, me and Ed Ferrara, let's bring Bret in as the commissioner. This is before he ever went back to WWE, ever, right? So Jeremy gets me on the phone with Bret. I pitch this whole thing to Bret. He's 100% on board. I go to Dixie. She's ecstatic. She's excited. Now it's just about money, and I'm out of it at that point. Now we pitch it to Eric. Eric is 1,000% on board with it. Okay? Now, he goes to Hulk, who has creative control.
This doesn't work for me, brother.
Hulk refuses to work with Bret. Now, again, my stance is freaking Dixie game creative control. How could I be hot at him? How can I be hot at him? But here's the thing. Eric knew that Dixie really wanted to bring Bret in because Dixie was just a mark for the big stars. He knew if he told Dixie that Hulk was vetoing it, Dixie would have been pissed off at Hulk. So now, out of the clear blue sky, Dixie's there, and now he starts burying Bret. And giving all the reasons why we shouldn't bring Bret in. And I looked at him and I said, Eric, cut through the bullshit. I was like, first of all, Bret Hart is my friend. So I'm not going to sit here and let you freaking bury the guy and make up all this. Let's call a spade a spade. Hulk Hogan is playing his creative control card and doesn't want Bret here. Just say it. Period. Just say it. He wouldn't say it, bro. So, Mac, I swear to God, this is when this guy was absolutely dead to me. So, Mac, this thing blew up. So now we're at Universal Studios and we have to have this big meeting. Here's the meeting. Me, Eric, Dixie's lawyer, who also represents Eric. Here. What? Why am I always the odd man out in these meetings? Where are my friends? Right? So, Mac, I swear to God, man, this was it. At this moment, Eric Bischoff was dead to me. So Dixie says, okay, Vince, the floor is yours. I said, Dixie, it's real simple. We all agreed on Bret Hart coming in, including Eric. Eric gave it his blessing, okay? Eric goes to Hulk. Hulk doesn't want Bret coming in. He's playing the creative card that you gave him, which I don't have a problem with. No. But rather than say Hulk doesn't want him in, Eric started burying Bret, who is a friend of mine, and I'm just not going to stand for that. If Bret's not coming in because Hulk's playing creative control, just freaking say it.
Yeah.
Just say it. Bro, I swear to God. And wait till I tell you what Eric said was the outcome of this meeting.
Uh-oh.
Bro, Eric now turns to me and he starts telling Dixie all the things I've smartened him up about concerning her. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, are you effing me? Now, Mac, here's the good thing. Everything that he was saying I told to Dixie. Like I was the guy that was always getting yelled at Dixie by telling her things she didn't want to hear. Like, Dixie, bro, here's the thing. I was trying to smarten him and Hulk up because they came in and thought they were going to do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, guys, she's not going to do that. You don't know Dixie. I'm telling you, she's not going to do it. And here's why. I wanted them to know what they were dealing with. So now he takes that and says, well, Vince, what about this you said about Dixie? And what about this? Freaking now, Dixie turns her chair to me like this. Now it's between me and Dixie.
Oh, God.
And bro, so Mac, Dixie goes to me, Vince, did you say those things? I said, yeah, Dixie. And I also said them to you. Everything he said, I said to you. And Mac, what I was trying to do was let him and Hulk know this is what you're dealing with, guys. You think you're going to come in here like it's WCW and she's going to spend money on this and that. It don't work that way here.
No.
So he told her every conversation him and I had about her. So, bro, that was it. Literally, Mac, wait till you hear this. So literally, Mac, a week after that, I gave Dixie my notice. I said, Dixie, I'm done. Mac, I didn't have another job lined up, nothing. I was done. Do you know what Eric's story is about that meeting to this day?
No, what?
That he exposed me in front of Dixie as a liar. You ready for this, Mac? And I started crying.
Did you cry, Vince?
That's Eric's story.
Why'd you cry?
That's the history with me, Eric, and Hulk.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you before we run out of time here, Vince.
I'm sorry, Mac, because
I think that's great backstories.
We got way off topic, but there's a reason I feel the way I do. And I've never felt that way about Hulk ever.